So we are back with another update. So it is currently December 30th, 2019. Almost 3 weeks ago, I took a pregnancy test and found out that I am pregnant. So that being said, after you take a home pregnancy test, the next thing you need to do is contact your doctor. So what I did was, my doctor's office has like this patient portal thing to where you can like message them. So I messaged my doctor and said, hey, I took 2 at-home pregnancy tests and they were both positives. Like they were very faint, but they were clear positives. What do I do next? I knew they were gonna say that they wanted me to come in and do some blood work to see what my levels were at and to schedule an ultrasound. So that next day, so on the 12th, is when they contacted me back. She called me, and so how my doctor's office works is that they have like an assistant to the doctor, like they're an MD, but they're an assistant, so they like handle all like the online stuff. So she contacted me and was just asking me a whole bunch of questions. When was my last period, blah, 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 blah. So I told her, and she estimated me to be 5 weeks and so many days. However, I was thinking that I was just pregnant and I was only 4 weeks because I'm thinking that I didn't ovulate until a lot later. So when I go to my ultrasound appointment, I'm not sure when they're gonna say my exact due date is. However, I will be having a baby in August of 2020, so I'm super excited about that. The doctor's assistant, and we scheduled me to have an ultrasound on January 9th. That's the soonest they can get me in to have my very first ultrasound and my confirmation appointment. Not a big deal. From a couple weeks ago, that was like 5 weeks away. And now it's only a couple weeks away, or it's almost a week away. So it's coming up pretty fast. Very excited about it. I feel like it's not really a real thing until I actually see something on the screen and see a heartbeat. But anyway, so they also wanted me to come in and do some blood testing. They wanted to do a quants level. So what that is they take your blood and they see where your levels are at with your HCG to make sure that the levels are going up. And I think she may have confused me with somebody else because she told me, I just want you to come in, see where your levels are at. We'll see if they double, so then I don't have to have you come back in and get poked again. And I was thinking, well, wouldn't you need me to come in twice to get my blood work done or to see if it doubled? So I was a little bit confused. So anyway, so she told me to come in that following Wednesday. So it was going to be a whole week away just to make sure that my levels were going up, because the farther along you are, obviously the higher your levels are going to be. So I waited until that next Wednesday. So that would have been the 18th. I went in, got my blood work done. She told me to call the next morning after 10 o'clock to see where my levels were at. And of course, she told me my levels did not double, which I wasn't expecting them to double if I only got my blood taken once. So she wanted me to come back in on Friday. So I went back in that next Friday, and of course I'm a little like worried about it just because she told me my levels didn't double, but at the same time I was thinking, well, I only had the blood taken once, so it would make sense that my levels didn't double because I never had my blood taken before, but maybe they were trying to go off of like how many weeks they thought I was and where my levels should have been, which would make so much more sense. But she was telling me that my levels didn't double and it didn't make any sense to me. So my sister is a postpartum nurse, and she's kind of been rooting for me like this whole time, really invested in my pregnancy journey. And so that Friday, so after I got my blood work done the second time, now I wasn't gonna find out what my levels were until the following Monday, so that would have been last Monday, the 23rd. So I got my blood work done on the 18th. I got it done again on the 20th, but I wasn't gonna get my final results until the 23rd. My sister, I knew, was going to have a bad day at work on the 20th. So on the 20th, I knew she was gonna have a bad day because we already talked previously about her work, and she said there was a lot of inductions. She was gonna have a lot of patients that were on magnesium, and it was just gonna be a bad day. So I kind of took that and used that to my advantage, and I had called her while she was on her way home from work and asked her if she was home. Well, I texted her. And she said, no, she wasn't home, that she would be home in like 20 minutes. So I said, hey, I know you had a bad day at work. Do you want me to bring you something from DQ? Matt and I were gonna go and get something from DQ. And of course she said yes, because I know she's not one to say no to DQ. So I asked my brother-in-law if he wanted anything that we drop it off, and he said yeah. So this I was using to my advantage, and we were gonna tell them that we are expecting. Now, the only reason why I wanted to tell my sister on this day was because my sister told me before she told anybody else in our family, and my sister like has knowledge in pregnancy related things. She knows a lot. So I was just really confused with my labs and stuff like that. So I had asked, so that's kind of like the reason why I wanted to tell her. So here's the clip of me telling my sister and my brother-in-law that we are expecting. Now, the clip that I'm about to play, I wanted to tell them both together, but their son Oliver was having a slight meltdown. So Greg was taking care of Oliver at the time that my sister found out. So here's the clip. So Matt and I are in the drive-thru at DQ. We're going to get my sister and Greg some blizzards, and then we're gonna bring it to them, but there's gonna be a secret message on them, so I guess we'll find out how they respond.
Look who's out here!
I know.
Wait, you little liar!
Yes.
Yeah, one of those sizes leaked in. Be careful.
Clean it off.
Oh, snap!
You missed it! I was out here and I was trying not to yell.
I wonder why you guys were coming over
What
here.
does it say?
It says Uncle Greg, August 2020.
You're so lame.
So now that we told my sister and Greg that we were expecting, I wanted to tell my mom and dad the following day on the 21st that we were expecting as well. Now, the reason why I wanted to tell them is because Matt's family, we were doing our family Christmas on Sunday, and his sister and brother-in-law and our niece who live in Ohio, they were gonna be in town. So all the family was gonna be in town that day, and it just felt like it was a perfect opportunity to tell everybody at that one point, because I didn't want to tell them via FaceTime. I didn't want to tell them via text. I didn't want them to find out through the grapevine. I wanted to tell them myself. So I wanted to tell my parents before we told Matt's family. And my mom's reaction is so funny. We'll insert that clip here. And also my dad, his reaction, I called it the night before. My sister, Greg, and Matt and I were all talking, and I'm like, I bet my dad goes, what? And of course, in the next clip, you'll see that he says that. It's really funny. So here's that. Okay, so today is December 21st, 2019, and we're going to tell my parents that we're expecting. So have Matt's makeshift dad shirt. My sister let me borrow this sweatshirt that I'm gonna wear temporarily, but we're going to put a bun in the oven and have my mom take out the bun in the oven and see if she figures it out, so.
I don't know. What is this? Haley!
There's not in
Can
there.
you ask her if she wants us to open her oven?
What? What is this one little piece of bread doing in there? What is this one little piece of bread doing in there? She's pregnant! Oh my God! She's pregnant! Where are you?
What? There's a bun in the oven, that's what that means.
Great.
Well, congratulations.
She's pregnant! Oh my God! She's pregnant! Where are you?
What? There's a bun in the oven, that's what that means.
Great.
Well, congratulations.
Now, after we told my parents, we knew exactly how we were going to tell Matt's family, but we didn't know exactly when we would get the right opportunity. So we have a niece who is 4. She's very smart. So if she hears something, she's gonna blab it to everybody. So we had to make sure that when we told Matt's family that Avery was not in the room or was not listening. So we hurried up. I set up my camera. I don't know how they didn't catch me setting up my phone, but they didn't. And we were able to share with them the exciting news. Now, Matt's sister, Marissa, she caught on right away. Then her husband, Hugo, caught on right away. But the rest of the family didn't catch on, and it's really funny. So there's that clip.
I didn't realize you used to sleep with Ripper anymore.
So I found I'm getting a new job.
Are you? Oh.
Uh-oh.
Right.
Starting in August.
They're moving you to where?
Yeah, they told me long hours, but I get to work from home.
Oh, that's nice.
What?
Are you doing management stuff? Like,
They don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
no shit? And they don't want you on site
Management.
for management?
They don't get it.
Yeah.
Do they?
I don't know.
Come on. I'm the only one that.
My job title's dad.
You got it.
No wonder you weren't drinking.
I'm like, August, he wants me to think about this for 2 seconds.
No.
You did hear this.
Yeah, I
Is his daddy?
Yeah, but I'm only like 5 weeks.
So it's still,
So we're
yeah.
not, we wanted to tell you guys since you guys were home,
Right.
but we're not telling like the rest of the family yet.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you hit a few more weeks.
Yeah.
So then
I just want to make sure, I haven't gone to the doctor yet, I haven't my
Just
ultrasound
keep
yet.
it- yeah.
I just want to make sure that's good, and then we'll probably tell people
Should you
after
run
that.
that?
Now, at this point in time, we have not had an ultrasound. I've only had blood work done. My blood work came back good. But we really just wanted to tell our family right away, just because with the holidays, it's kind of hard to hide. I'm not a big alcohol drinker, but if somebody offers me something, I'm probably gonna have at least a glass. But this whole holiday season, I obviously had to stay clear of all alcohol, and it's just a whole lot easier whenever you're around family at one-on-one time, just to tell them, and that's what we wanted to do. So again, I wasn't that far along. I'm not that far along now. I'm between 6 and 7 weeks now. When I have my first ultrasound, I'll be between 8 and 9. But it was just the perfect opportunity for us to tell all of our family, our close family. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is how I'm currently feeling. So I am between 6 and 7 weeks right now. And I told Matt the other day that the easiest way that I could describe the way I feel is hungover. I didn't drink at all, but that's how I feel, is hungover. I just am exhausted. I feel like blah. I don't feel nauseous to where like, I don't feel like I need to like throw up or anything. Like my morning sickness is not like that. It's more or less that I just feel exhausted and I feel like, ugh. And like I have a lot of food aversions. I had garlic in my fridge that was pre-cut that I had to throw away. It was brand new. I had to throw it away because I could not stand the smell. The only things I want to eat is Lipton boxed chicken noodle soup, oranges, and at first it was just DQ'd grilled chicken sandwiches, but I think it's just grilled chicken in general because my mom made grilled chicken last night and I really wanted it and it was really good. But other than that, nothing else ever sounds really good to me. if I smell certain things, like I can't stand the smell. Like I have an air freshener in my house that was a Christmas one. I cannot stand the smell of it. Couldn't stand the smell of the garlic. Can't stand the smell of onions. And I love garlic and onions. So right now I'm just kind of struggling. I'm not feeling the greatest. I'm extremely tired. Yeah, so that's really what's going on with me. Just extremely exhausted. Like I said before, pregnancy exhaustion is a real thing. I literally feel like the best thing I could describe the way I feel is hungover. And yeah, so you all, I mean, I'm sure most of you know what the feeling of hungover feels like, and it's not fun. And that's what I'm going through, and I didn't even have the joys of drinking the night before. So yeah, so that's where we're at. So I will update you guys the next time.